Game of Death 2. Due to the fact that Lee didn't actually complete that many films in his lifetime and even fewer of them have official critical scores on Rotten Tomatoes, the very odd and uneven Game of Death 2 just barely makes this list. A bizarre Frankenstein's monster of a movie that was pieced together with scenes lifted from Lee's earlier films. It's no mystery as to why it lacks a critical consensus on Rotten Tomatoes and sits at a meager 42% audience score on the Tomato Meter. Game of Death. Like the aforementioned Game of Death 2, Game of Death is a posthumously released Lee flick that doesn't have a particularly great reputation among martial arts movie aficionados. A pet project for Lee, the film very well could have been the martial artist turned filmmaker's greatest work had it not been for his shocking death at the age of 32. Marlowe. One of the many films based on Raymond Chandler's iconic detective novels, Marlowe stars James Garner as Philip Marlowe on a quest to help a mysterious woman locate her missing brother. What does any of this have to do with Bruce Lee, you ask? Well, the film featured one of Lee's earliest Hollywood acting gigs on the big screen, The Big Boss. The Big Boss is an action-packed martial arts extravaganza, and the first of Lee's films that could easily be considered a masterpiece. Confusingly, the film was released in many territories as Fists of Fury, making it easily confused with Fist of Fury, also known as The Chinese Connection, released the following year. Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury is a kung fu classic starring Bruce Lee in his second major big-screen role. The crowd-pleasing film features many of Lee's most iconic movie moments, and tons of amazing action choreographed by Lee himself. The Way of the Dragon. The Way of the Dragon is Lee's directorial debut and follows a martial artist who vows to protect the owners of a Chinese restaurant in Rome from a vicious gang of thugs. Enter the Dragon. It almost goes without saying that Enter the Dragon is a highly influential action classic, one of the best action films of the 1970s. In fact, it stars Lee as a martial arts master on a mission to stop the evil drug lord responsible for the death of his sister. Be Water. Be Water is a fantastic documentary about the life and career of Bruce Lee, created as a part of ESPN's celebrated 30 for 30 documentary series. It chronicles the making of 4 of Lee's most beloved films, and makes extensive use of archival footage and interviews with the martial artist filmmaker. The Green Hornet. Yet another Bruce Lee film that lacks an official critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, The Green Hornet nevertheless sports a tidy 57% audience score on the Tomato Meter. An omnibus edit of 3 classic episodes of the original Green Hornet TV show from the 1960s, which gave Lee one of his first iconic screen credits. 1974's The Green Hornet disappointed fans, hoping for new material, but overall served as a decent introduction to the show. The Kid. One of Lee's earliest acting roles can be found in the 1950 Hong Kong drama The Kid, in which he starred with his father, Lee Hoi Chen. The young Lee portrays a 10-year-old orphan in this adaptation of a popular Hong Kong comic book.